Hi, in this video we're going to learn how to use Windows Movie Maker at Joliet Central. First you go to the little Windows button and we're going to go to All Programs. We're going to find the one that says Movie Maker. Open that up. Okay, so we are now in the Movie Maker program. You know that you do not have your microphone attached because up here it's gray where it says Record Narration. And when your headphones are plugged in, it will have that so it's solid color like it says for snapshot there. You're going to actually do all of your work first, like putting in your pictures, your transitions, your movement, all that stuff is going to go in first. Then at the end, you'll record your narration. Okay, so I'm going to click here where it says to put in my videos or photos. You should have saved on your H drive. Here's some photos. Okay, so I have my photos. I have a folder. I can click on each one individually if I hold Control, and then I can click on the ones I want, or I can click on the first one, hold down the Shift key, and then click on the last picture, and it will highlight all the pictures. I hit open and it puts them in there. Doesn't matter what order you put your pictures in, because once you're in the program, you can drag your pictures and move them around to wherever you want them to go. Okay? So you import your pictures, you organize them the way you want, and now you need to put your transitions in. So that's going to be under animations in this little menu here. Your transitions are from slide to slide. So if this black line here tells you where you're at. So this is going to tell you, okay, I can put a transition there. Over here on the left, I choose what transition I want. Do I want it to make like a diamond? Do I want it to do these funky dots? Whatever one you want it to do, or if you want it to pan from side to side like that. You just pick the transition and it went in there. Okay? So for each slide, you'll move the black line, put a transition so that it moves from picture to picture, and you're going to get a nice flowing movie is what you want ultimately. Okay, then the next thing you do is when you're talking over the pictures, you don't want them to just stand still. Okay, so you can preview what you did. I put my black line at the beginning of the picture, I hit the space bar. This picture is not moving, it's static, right? My transition goes in. Now I have another picture, it's just staying there. You want the pictures to move so it looks like a movie. So we're going to choose over here on the right side the pan and zoom. And this is what is going to direct our picture to movement. And again, you're going to put the black line in front of the picture, and you can tell it if you want it to move from side to side, if you want it to move from down to up, if you want it to go from right to left. Okay, so you'll just pick the ones you want. Just a note, the rotation ones sometimes can be a little nauseating. And as you hover over them, notice how it gives you a preview of what that would look like if you were to choose that one. So I'm just going to add these really quickly in there. Okay, now I have all my transitions and I have in all my movement to my pictures. You can play around with this other stuff on your own, the visual effects, like each picture you can change. If you want it to be black and white. So now I made that Chicago photo black and white. That's something for you to play with. I'm going to go back to my home tab. If you want to add music, here's where you're going to add music. You should add music from the Free Music Archive would be a good thing, or if you own some music, you can put your own music in there. Remember that you want to put the music in at a lower voice, a lower volume than your voice, because otherwise the music will take over the sound of the video. So now I want to add a title. I need a title to my video, and over here it says title, and that puts in a blank black screen. You can do all kinds of stuff with this, okay? You guys probably know how to do this a lot better than everybody. So this is my Chicago history, and I can center this. Again, you have the transitions of things you can do. You can make it magic. You can change the color, all that kind of stuff. You can change the background color. And you got to change the font color, because that's not good. There we go. Okay? So when you're done with that, you need to save your project. Now, we haven't put in our music. We haven't put in our narration yet. We've just done our slides and organized everything. So we're done for the day. We need to save our project. We go to this little blue thing in the upper left-hand corner, Save Project As. You're going to save it to your history fair thing. Don't call it My Movie. It automatically comes up My Movie. My Chicago history, or whatever your topic is, that's the movie. This is saved as a project, not as a movie, so it doesn't play on Windows Movie Maker yet. Now you're going to close out Movie Maker. Okay, now you're ready to add your narration to your pictures. So we just closed out of Windows Movie Maker. You're now going to plug in your headset. It's going to install a driver over here. So over here it's going to say, I'm installing a driver. Wait until that driver is installed. Then and only then can you open up Windows Movie Maker again. So you're going to go back to the little window symbol, All Programs, Movie Maker. Now we need to open up our project that we were working on. So I'm going to go to my little blue drop down. It was the Chicago History project, and it's all right there. Okay, so this is my thing playing here. It's beautiful, gorgeous, but it doesn't have any words yet. So my record narration notice is now highlighted, so I can actually use this now because I have the microphone attached and I can put in my narration. So I'm going to hit record narration. My suggestion is you figure out what you want to say for each individual picture, because if you screw up your narration, then you only have to delete your one little part of the narration, rather than trying to do one long narration, screwing it up, and having to redo it over and over and over again. So I'm only going to do narration for my title slide right now. I'm going to hit record. This is the Chicago History Fair by Mrs. Thompson. Stop. Okay, so now it's going to want to save that. So you're going to need to save it to your History Fair project. You want to save it to the same file as where you're saving all of your other movie stuff. So I'm going to hit save, and now there's my narration. I'm going to go to my next slide. I'm ready to record what this is. So hit narration, record. This is a fine example of an arch and its importance in Chicago history. Stop. Record that narration. Okay? And do each one. Now the history one has come up. So that goes to there. Notice that this narration went over into this picture. If you only want this narration to be seen with this picture, you're going to have to do some changing, some editing. So I'm going to edit. I'm going to go up here into my video tools, hit edit. I want to change the duration of this picture. Instead of 7 seconds, it's probably more like 9 seconds. notice how when I did that, it rearranged the size of my picture to go to my narration. Okay? So now that's beautiful. I can go on to my next picture, go back to my home button, record narration. I'm going to record again. The beautiful scenic overview of Chicago is one that is envied by many. And save it. And again, it's longer. So we're going to do the same thing. Edit, change my duration. Maybe that one's 10 seconds. That one's a little bit longer, so maybe go to 9. That fits in. Okay? If you don't like whatever you did for your narration, if you just highlight on the narration itself and hit delete, boom, that narration's gone. Now you can go back to home, hit record narration, and record again. So that's why it's important to have your script written out. You can just keep reading the same thing over and over again until you get it how you want it, and you don't have as many errors. Okay, when you are totally done with the project and you have all your narration in, you have all your transitions, you're happy with how everything looks, now it's time to save your movie in the format that will be able to be viewed on Media Player, Windows Media Player. So instead of going over to the Save As, we're going to go to the fancy little wizard wand that says Save Movie. And we're going to save movie for computer. I'm in my History Fair folder. And notice now, it has the same file name, but it's called a video file. Okay? It's not that Windows Movie Maker file anymore. Now I'm going to hit save. There we go. So it's going through the step of rendering and getting this movie made. It's going to take a few minutes now because it's taking all your sound, it's taking everything you did and putting it together. You saved your movie in your computer. So now if I close this, it's going to ask me if I want to save it again, but I don't want to. When I go to my computer and I go to my History Fair thing, I have two files in here. I have the Chicago History one with this little film, and then I have Chicago History with this little music note. That's the one that will play on Windows Movie Player. So here's the actual movie. The other one will not play on the Windows Movie Player. So that's not the one you want to turn into your teacher. You want to make sure you turn in the one that's the MP4 video. See how it says item type MP4 video? That's the kind you want. All right? So those are the important things to know when using Windows Movie Maker at school.